Hey YouTube, it's themthatgots bringing you another video. This time I'm doing a very special video. It's a figure I've been waiting for a long time that I finally got yesterday in the mail. It's the new Marvel Legends Wave 4 Hitmonkey series, Archangel. Now, just for some history, Archangel has been my favorite comic book character for I don't even know how long, since I started reading comic books. There's always just been something about him that I've loved since I was a kid. Just the first time I laid eyes on him, I said, man, that guy looks awesome. I think maybe it was the wings, I don't know. I mean, you don't really think of a guy in a blue and pink costume looking very cool, but he does. And I've just been waiting for this figure since they revealed him, I think, San Diego Comic-Con 2011, like a year and a half ago. I haven't been able to contain myself. I've been so excited for this figure, and I've just been counting down the days, and I saw they finally hit online, you know, Hitmonkey series Archangel in hand, and I just had to pull the trigger, and I paid more than I should have for him, but it wasn't too bad. I paid $30 plus shipping, but he's absolutely worth it. I was so excited for him, like I said, and I saw Solid Snake's review a few weeks ago, and I immediately got really disappointed because he looks absolutely terrible in that review. I don't know if you saw it. I'm sure it's no fault of Solid Snake, but the colors, like the pink looked way too shiny, and the blue looked like super muted and dingy looking. It just looked awful. And the wings looked terrible too. And the wings aren't metallic like they are in the Comic-Con pack, but they actually look really good in person here. So, you know, I was a little upset about it. Once I saw him pop up online, you know, I still was excited to get him, so I did. And he came in the mail, and I just couldn't contain myself. I was so excited when I opened the box, and I just stared at him for a while because he's just so beautiful. So I'd like to take this time to just say hats off to Hasbro. You know, you've been working with hard-to-please collectors like myself since you started the Marvel license, and you did a terrible job at first, but you kept getting better and better and better, and I have to say you have produced my favorite Marvel Legends figure of all time, which is this figure right here, Archangel. In my opinion, he's pretty close to perfect. To get in with the gripes, I'll start that before I get into anything. It does bug me that his hands are the same as the Bucky cap. I know the whole body is, but that doesn't bother me. It just bothers me that the hands are the same. A, because there's a trigger finger there, and Archangel has no use for a gun, and B, because they look a little more wrinkly like they're gloves, because they are gloves on the Bucky cap. Other than that, I really have no gripes. So let's take a closer look at him. He does have these huge wings that look great. And they are removable, so I'm going to take them off so I can show you a little bit closer. There we go. They fit pretty tight. I do have the San Diego Comic-Con version, but I never took them out of the box. I heard a lot of people had problems with the wings being really loose, but the wings are nice and tight on here. Let's take a look under the back. The coolest part about them is that they're gigantic, but it's got these small pieces that hinge here, and you can see where it connects to the body here. There's a rotation in them. And then it also has this folding here, which is nice. If you have it on the figure, you can kind of fold these, and he looks like he has armor on, which is really cool. Other people have pointed out, but I guess I'll do it too, you can pop them apart, and it gives it a really cool look. You can do one of two things once you pop them apart. I guess three things. You can just put it back together the way it was. But this way you can have the wings kind of arching this way if you want to put Archangel in a flight pose. That way the wings are arching up, and it actually looks really good. I actually prefer it that way when I put him in a flight pose. It looks awesome. The other thing is you can put him on upside down, and it kind of looks like he's ready to shoot out his neurotoxin blades. And both ways are really cool. I'm going to put it back the way I had it though. And getting into the figure, here he is. He has a fantastic sculpt. I absolutely love this sculpt. I know it's the Bucky Cap mold, but it is a new sculpt that, you know, Hasbro just started with, and it's a good one. I hope they use it a lot more. I have my gripes with other bucks that they use, like the Shield Agent buck and the Bullseye buck. But this one I really don't have any issues with. I think it's an all-around good-looking buck. It's got a lot of great articulation. There's a lot of good detail in the musculature. And it's just a great mold. And I love this ankle pivot too. I'll get into that. Let's just get into articulation here. He has a ball joint that's also on a disc, so his head can go up and down, left to right. And, you know, people have noticed that there's like this little shift thing you can do. I think that's unintentional, but it's still pretty cool. In his shoulder, he has a regular ball joint. He's got a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and then he has a swivel in the wrist as well as a hinge. He's got a nice ab crunch. You can get him nice and arched back for those flying poses and get his head stuck up straight, so he's looking forward when he's flying. That's awesome. Hasbro was not doing that for a while on the flying figures. They had terrible articulation in the head. But he's got a waist swivel. He has this new T-crotch that works pretty well. It doesn't go out kind of as far as I would like it to, but good enough. It goes forward, out, and you can, you know, spin it here at the upper thigh to get some more articulation out of it. So it's got that thigh swivel. Double jointed knees. It has a calf swivel. Let me get on camera here. Has a calf swivel, which I never really have cared for. I always keep it straight. I never use it otherwise. And then it has the ankle articulation and that fantastic new rocker that Hasbro's been doing. That just looks awesome, no matter how you have it posed. I really do like this paint job. Like I said in early reviews, I thought the pink was way too shiny. I hated the metallic pink, and I thought the blue was way too muted. But seeing it in person, it looks absolutely amazing. I'm trying to stand him up here. It just looks absolutely fantastic in my opinion. Even on this video, it might look a little too metallic and kind of weird and wonky, but in person, it looks fantastic. And I actually like the color of blue that they used on the face, which originally I thought was maybe a little bit too dark. But it looks great. It's got the nice blonde color for the eyebrows and just the solid bluish white eyes. I really have no gripes with this figure aside from those hands, and it would be cool if the wings were metallic like they originally were. Those look great, but I don't know if the quality control issues were because they were metallic. Maybe they switched to the gray because they can make them tighter that way. I don't know. If that's the case, then that's a good trade-off. I would kind of like to experiment with these wings, get another one and customize them and try to make the wings shinier to see if I can kind of get them the way I'd like them to be. But other than that, like I said, I think this figure is absolutely perfect. I can't wait to get a hold of 2, 3 more so I can customize, keep some men on card, you know, have some for my display, have some loose so I can mess with them. That's kind of how I am. Once I get them in a display, I don't like to mess with them, so I'll buy an extra one just so I can mess around with it while I'm sitting there bored or whatever. But that's it for the figure, and I would like to, just for a good laugh, remind everyone about this figure, which was great until this new Archangel came out. But this X-Men Classics Archangel, I loved the wings on this when it came out, but they're so thin and stupid looking now, even though the wingspan is really long. And, you know, back when this figure came out, the body molds like this were awesome, but now it just looks weird. The balls are so big and round, and he's too skinny and slender and long, even though the paint job is pretty good on that figure. But just look at them side by side. There's just, I know this is a comparison, but there's no comparison. The new Archangel is just, it just stomps all over Toy Biz, and I love that because, you know, we're stuck with Hasbro, so the fact that they're making better figures is just better for us collectors. We never have to buy that figure and be like, man, this would be so much better if Toy Biz did it. I think we're getting to that point where Hasbro's starting to trump them, and I love it. I can't wait to see what they have coming out soon. I'm really excited to get a hold of Sentry, but I don't know when he'll be out. I don't really care much for Hyperion, but I might get him just to complete the Hitmonkey. But right now, all I have is Archangel and Wolverine. I might put up a Wolverine review. I don't know. But that's it for Archangel. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.